friends, my name is Bhavya Mangla. I am working with DNVGL. Today I am going to talk about outsource process. When we think about outsource, there are so many things in and around us that is outsource. And somebody has very rightly said, outsource your weaknesses and in-house your strength. If you look around yourself, you must be seeing that for any marriages, the photography, decoration, catering, all these processes are outsourced. In-house also generally cleaning of utensils, clothes and other things are being outsourced. There are so many countries, especially the developing countries, whose economy is dependent upon the business process outsourcing from the developed nations. So outsourcing is a part and parcel of everybody's life. Even though too much dependency on outsourcing also creates problems. Just like during COVID-19 situation, a lot of dependency on China is creating challenges for many companies. Now, it's very important to understand that what is the key difference between outsourcing and bought-out parts. So as per my understanding, the difference is very thin. In outsourcing process, when we say technically, in the manufacturing process, when a part of that process goes out, and then that component comes in again and we do some value addition and then finally dispatches the component or the product to the customer. In a bought-out part, we purchase something, we do some value addition and then we send it to the customer. So the difference is very thin. If we talk about IATF 16949 and ISO 9001, there are 6 different clauses where the standard is talking about outsource process. Now to explain about this entire outsource process, I have divided the entire thing into 4 parts. The part 1 is why we do outsourcing. Point number 2 is what are the challenges or problems with outsourcing. Point number 3 is what are the controls that organization can apply on outsource process. And the 4th one is if all these controls are applied effectively, what are the benefits organization can gain out of it. So let me start with point number 1. Why the organizations outsource? So there are many reasons. I will share some of them. Like one of the reason is that return on investment is low. It means that you are investing a lot of money, but then you are not getting that much of benefit out of it. Another reason could be that investment is very high. Initial investment is very high. Say for example, you have to put up an electroplating plant. So investment is too high. At times, low competency of the organization is another reason for outsourcing. Say for example, for prototyping or product design or maybe rapid prototyping, that can be some of the reasons for that. Then another reason with respect to outsourcing is that organization thinks that it is creating a lot of space and a lot of investment is needed for that particular process. Another thing why the organization thinks that they should outsource is because it is low value addition product. Say for example, organization has to just do the slitting part of the sheet metal. So they can very easily outsource. And there can be many more reasons to decide to go for outsourcing. But once we do the outsourcing, what are the possible challenges? So that is point number 2. So some of the possible challenges are like the quality management system or the management system is in general weak for all the outsource process organization. Secondly, there are no defined structure with respect to the performance indicators like quality, cost, delivery and all that. Another important thing is the low competence of people who are working there. There is no formal way of verifying the competence of people. Then in general, the selection process is also very weak for outsource process. When we purchase something, say for a bought-out parts or raw material, we always have a very structured and defined way of doing the selection. But for outsourcing, we generally think and we transfer this process very quickly and without going in much detail about that. And then apart from that, the losses are very high with respect to the rejections and all that, which is generally not even considered a lot. And the supplies are very erratic. Nobody is sure that whether supplies will come on time or not. So these are some of the possible challenges that organization faces. Now here comes point number 3. What an organization can do, what kind of controls they can apply for it. So let me share some of them. First of all, there should be a proper documented process. Organization need to identify what are the different outsource processes that they are having, what are the controls that they are applied on that, and how all these outsource processes are interacting with different processes in the organization. Then second point is organization should have a proper structure or structure methodology for selection of any outsource process, that which supplier can do the outsourcing and what are the different parameters based on which they need to do that. Then thirdly, there should be proper identified quality objectives with respect to quality and delivery that they need to monitor about their performance. Then another important thing is what kind of competence the people should have while working there. That organization need to identify and make sure that the people are having that kind of competence in the outsource process. Another important thing is type of controls that organization needs to apply for it. Say for example, second party audit. At times organizations can depute their own employee at the outsource process just to see that whether everything is going effective or not. At many times I've seen that organizations are also having a third party inspection before dispatch of material. So there can be different kind of controls that organization can apply to make sure that the outsource process is effective. And if everything is done effective, let's talk about the point number 4. What are the benefits organization can derive out of the outsource process? Well, some of them are that productivity improves for the organization, the cost of production goes down, the customer satisfaction improves, the investment on part of organization is less, and overall efficiency and effectiveness of the organization processes improves. So if I repeat again all the 4 points, I talked about first point was that what are the reasons why organization go for outsourcing. Point number 2 is what are the possible challenges that organization faces. Point number 3 is what controls organization can apply for that. And point number 4 is what are the benefits that organization can reap in case they implement effectively the outsource process. In case you want to know a little bit more about this video, then you can go to the below link and you can click, you will find in detail about that. And in case you want to hear these kind of videos regularly, so please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.